What's up, everybody? It's Danny again, and I'm here with, I guess might be my final video on this topic. I can only do my best to impart the information that I have, and when you go into the voting booth on Tuesday, the future of New York will be in your hands, and I really truly hope that when you pull that lever down, you're making the wise decision. Not a decision based on emotions, not a decision based on rhetoric, but a decision that is based on the facts as they are. And what I'm here to actually tell you is that Andrew Cuomo and Zoran Mamdani are exactly the same. They're no different. Now, there is a difference between them, and that is on Israel and Palestine. So if you're pro-Israel and you support Cuomo, let me just tell you that the New York City Democratic Party is pretty much saturated with the DSA progressives. And that's, look at Zoran Mamdani. Look at the support he has. Look at how Hochul has had to take so much abuse. Look at the change in stance on people like Chuck Schumer, who originally were talking about how much they don't like illegals and how they steal from us, and now we need to support them. So these politicians realize, the old guard of the Democrats realize that they cannot continue to be relevant unless they follow the progressive agenda, one of which is pro-BDS, pro-Palestine. So what's going to happen is Andrew Cuomo, he's only running for mayor to further his career. He is only trying to get back into the political arena and revive his dead political career, which means that he will do whatever he has to move up. And if that will mean that if stuff heats up in the Israel and Gaza, or in Israel and Palestine again, and the only way that he's going to get support, or the only way he's going to get things done, is if he supports BDS, I promise you, he is going to support BDS. He is going to turn on that pro-Israel contingent as faster than the speed of light. He will be right there to say, boycott, divest, sanction. Because he is not running for the betterment of New York. He's not a sincere person. He is running to get back into the political arena. Now, if you're pro-Palestine and you're supporting Andrew Cuomo, then I need you to understand that Andrew Cuomo has teamed up with AIPAC affiliated and Zionist social media influencers. Many of them seem to be paid for by Bill Ackman, a billionaire, a hedge fund manager, to promote this whole idea of Mamdani's a jihadi, he's going to bring Sharia to New York, all this nonsense. So he's going to be playing both sides as usual, because that's what somebody in a desperate situation is going to do. They're going to do exactly what they need to do to basically move up. Now, Cuomo is... Now, it's the same idea as how Mamdani is using the Muslim community to pander to. He is not actually Muslim. He is probably an atheist communist. He is about as Muslim as I am. So he's using them. That's where the taqiyya that everybody talks about is coming in. It's coming in through the fact that he's lying to his Muslim constituents to get support from them. Andrew Cuomo is using Israel and Palestine and jihad and all this other nonsense to get scared Jewish votes, as well as Gentile votes that are scared of Islamic takeovers and nonsense like that. So that's first. That's really it. That's really the only difference between Mamdani and Cuomo. Other than that, let's look at their histories. So we can say all we want about what Mamdani may do and what Mamdani supports, but whatever it is that Mamdani is going to do, is only a continuation of the legacy that was started by Andrew Cuomo when he was governor. Andrew Cuomo is pro-criminal. He's behind bail reform. He is responsible every single time another innocent New Yorker is killed or maimed by a violent repeat offender. You can thank Andrew Cuomo for that. Bail reform, raise the age. That's all him. He is pro-illegals. Check out his Executive Order 170. Listen to his debate where he says he's going to use the NYPD against ICE. He's pro-illegals as well. He is anti-2A. He's signed the SAFE Act, which made it harder for you to exercise your Second Amendment right here in New York State. And both Cuomo and Mamdani are backed by billionaires. Mamdani is backed by George Soros. Sam Antar was able to prove that. And Cuomo is just backed by a lot of different billionaires. Bill Ackman, the Lauder family, Mike Bloomberg, the CEO of Airbnb, CEO of DoorDash. He is backed by tons of real estate interests. And that is really what this comes down to. New York right now, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And this is why I'm telling you to, push aside all the rhetoric, all the jihadi, all the anti-Semitism, all the nonsense that Cuomo spews. And most people see through Mamdani's nonsense, so I'm just not going to go through it that quick. But what I'm going to say is that City of Yes and the ballot proposals, the idea of that they're going to massively rezone and redevelop New York is a very important part of this election. This is one of the reasons why Trump is not endorsing someone like Curtis Sliwa. This is why someone like Trump is not trying to hold accountable Eric Adams for his crimes, or even Mamdani for his financial misdeeds. Because whether Cuomo or Mamdani win, Trump is okay with that. Trump has massive real estate interests in New York, and redevelopment and rezoning will make him money. However, there is one anti-establishment candidate. Now, I will always acknowledge this, that the New York City GOP screwed up. I don't believe that Sliwa was the ideal candidate. I think that anybody with half a brain could have predicted that since they've been talking about an AOC 2028, they could have easily predicted that they were going to try to bring in a young DSA AOC style candidate to the mayoral election of New York. And if all goes well there, then there's the talk of running AOC for president in 2028. The GOP should have seen this and found a fresh face, a young, hip Republican to jump into the arena and match Mamdani, or the Mamdani that they were going to create. The thing is they didn't. And I think that the reason they put Sliwa in was as a throwaway candidate. I think they threw him in there because they expected that he'd be the Republican for a little while, and then the only reason they brought Cuomo back is because Eric Adams' career was toast anyway, so they figured it would come down to the two of them. What Curtis Sliwa has become is why I support him, because he is the anti-establishment candidate. If you notice, he is the only one who is against any of this congestion pricing. He is against City of Yes. He is against ballot proposals that would allow the indiscriminate, unbridled rezoning and redevelopment of New York City. He is the only one against this. He is the actual threat to the billionaire class in New York. And there is going to be most likely a commercial real estate crash in the city. And all that is a product of Andrew Cuomo's lockdowns, which destroyed hundreds of businesses, forced people to work from home, and the office economy never recovered from it. So what ends up happening is they realize that this is going to happen. So they're trying to, under the guise of affordable housing and a housing shortage, which there absolutely is no housing shortage in New York, they are trying to convince you that they need to build and build and build. But what that really means is bulldoze current present infrastructure and build over it, which doesn't really make much sense. even though, as Curtis Sliwa rightly points out in the debate, there are 6,000 empty NYCHA apartments, and there's a ton of open real estate, especially the office real estate that's not being used anymore, that can be salvaged and used for residential purposes. So, but they don't want to do that. They want to build new. They want to bulldoze what's there. And every green space, every little spot in New York that they can find, they want to bulldoze and redevelop. So, Andrew Cuomo and Mamdani both support this. They are both on board with this. So, if you're voting for Mamdani, you're voting for Cuomo. If you're voting for Cuomo, you're voting for Mamdani. If you're voting for Curtis Sliwa, then you're voting for your best interests. Because Curtis Sliwa is the anti-establishment candidate. You're going to hear a lot of people tell you about how Cuomo is capitalist, Mamdani is communist. Ask them to explain to you what that even means. Because it doesn't mean anything. It's rhetoric. That's all it is. And when they tell you that Mamdani is a jihadi and all this stuff, he is not. He's not even Muslim, really. He's not Muslim. Anyone can put on an outfit and go to a mosque and pretend to play a Muslim to pander to their votes. But what he really supports is gender-affirming care for that's taxpayer funded, which is on his website, and all the LGBT stuff, which he is supported by all the LGBT organizations. There are no religious Muslims who are supported by LGBT organizations or who support gender-affirming care, except in Iran. So this is all rhetoric designed to sway you in the direction of Cuomo, because they are trying to fearmonger you into voting for Cuomo as the only one who can save us from this evil Mamdani. And then they put out these nonsensical polls that will make you think that Sliwa doesn't have a chance. But he does. He does have a chance. And the way he has a chance is if people stop suspending the reality that they live in, shut off that emotional switch in your head, and look at the world. Look at the city. Look at what you're living through. Every problem that we have here in New York City is in a direct result of Andrew Cuomo's governorship. Raise the age, bail reform. He's anti-2A. He signed the SAFE Act. He's backed by billionaires. Both of them are. He's pro-illegals. Executive Order 170. The fact that he wants to use the NYPD against ICE. He is not in any way, shape, or form a law and order candidate. He is exactly what Mamdani is, repackaged. I've described the two of them before as a Ford Taurus and a Mercury Sable. The exact same drivetrain, the exact same powertrain, the exact same, all the components are exactly the same. It's just the aesthetic and the badge are different. And that's it. Other than that, you're going to get from Cuomo exactly what you're going to get from Mamdani. Now, the difference is that we've had Cuomo as the governor, and all the problems we have now are because of Cuomo. He is the reason why this state has taken such a massive plunge in the past 10 years. And he opened the floodgates. The only reason that we have Mamdani is because we have Cuomo. We had Cuomo. Cuomo opened the floodgates and rolled out the red carpet for the DSA progressive takeover of the Democratic Party, who now control it. Okay? They are in control of the Democratic Party. Everything that he supported then, he supports now. No different. No different. And I can guarantee you that when he needs to get things done, or when he needs to get elected to a higher office, he is right away going to turn in whichever direction the DSA asks him to. So if they tell him to be pro-Palestine, he will be pro-Palestine. And this is not a good time to allow your emotions and this emotional rhetoric to be your influence. You need to look and think about what is best for you and your family and the middle class values of New York. An anti-establishment candidate is exactly what we need at the moment. Because whatever happens, wouldn't you prefer to have somebody who is going to have your best interests in mind and not the interests of the billionaires, not the interests of the real estate developers, not the interests of AIPAC affiliated hedge fund managers? And yes, I do know that Bill Ackman is not affiliated with AIPAC, but there are people, some of these internet personalities that are directly connected to AIPAC, and they are pushing Cuomo. If we found out tomorrow in an actual person influenced poll where people actually choose who they want, if we find out that Cuomo is behind Sliwa and that Sliwa has a chance to win, these people will keep pushing Cuomo, because it's not about the betterment of New York. It is not about what's best for you. It is about what is best for the billionaires, which is exactly who Mamdani has these idiots fooled that he's gonna take down. He's not taking them down. He is funded by them. Him and Cuomo are funded by the same friggin' people, and Trump is on board with all of it. Guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. I know that there are a lot of people telling you that Sliwa doesn't have a chance, so you have to vote for Cuomo. They're going to tell you that Mamdani is a communist. They're going to tell you that Mamdani is a jihadist. Ask them to explain it to you. Because I'll tell you something. I keep seeing that picture going around of of Mamdani with Imam Siraj Wahaj. Michael Bloomberg had to defend himself also. He posed with him. Eric Adams honored him. So if it's okay for Eric Adams and it was okay for Michael Bloomberg, how come it's not okay for Mamdani? Why is that all of a sudden, oh, he's a jihadi because of that? This is all theatrics, my friends. And we don't live in theatrics. We live in reality. And the reality is that the only thing that should be influencing you to pull that lever is the future that you want to create for your kids. The future of New York City. And I'm going to end this off with one last very important aspect to this. Andrew Cuomo and Zohran Mamdani both support vaccine mandates and lockdowns. Okay? Andrew Cuomo is the architect of it. I asked multiple people who are close to Andrew Cuomo to ask him to say that he would drop the appeals in the mandate cases, especially Garvey et al., the 16 sanitation workers case that declared the New York City mandate arbitrary and capricious because Eric Adams exempted celebrities from it. Yes, people, that's how dangerous of this virus was, and that's how important this vaccine was, that celebrities were exempted from the mandate. Okay? So look, Andrew Cuomo and Zohran Mamdani both haven't said a word. Mamdani went on Finest Unfiltered and says he supports it. Cuomo has not commented because they don't want the state to lose the ability to do that again. And our case, the Garvey case, is the last legal roadblock. Listen to me. This is the last legal roadblock that is going to stop it from happening again. And the reason is because right now in New York, there are no more religious exemptions. Okay? There are no more religious exemptions. Quarantine camps are now legal in New York. Kathy Hochul got quarantine camps legal in New York. Okay? Curtis Sliwa is the only candidate who has vowed to drop the appeals and stop the city's paying private lawyers to fight us and I don't know about the other cases, but to fight us at least. Because this case is so important to them being able to lock you down and mandate you again. And if that's what you want, then go ahead and vote for Cuomo and Mamdani. And when it happens again, and you can't get a religious exemption, and you can get fired arbitrarily, don't tell me I didn't warn you. I have begged you guys for years now. It's been friggin' years that we have been tormented by the courts, by the city, and by a union that has chewed us up and spit us right out with absolutely no due process. And some idiot told me the other day that it won't happen to them. Famous last words. Okay? This is not an election that you should be choosing your candidate based on emotional rhetoric. This is when you have to choose your candidate based on what is best for you, your family, and the future that your children will inherit, that you have an obligation to protect. I know that this is a 20-minute video, and I make this so people can just listen to it, and hopefully it'll absorb. But guys, I cannot make any clearer how important this is. 14,000 people saw my video in front of Cliff Street when we confronted Harry Nespoli when they slashed 12-126, the city's obligation to protect active and retirees' health care. And now they're back to trying to screw the actives out of their health care. And although Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa have signed a pledge saying that they won't mess with retirees' health care, they've now gone after the actives. They've gone after you guys. And what are you going to do about it? Well, Curtis Sliwa is not going to keep fighting you. He's not going to come after your health care. He's not going to come after your benefits. He is going to protect them. He is going to protect you. Because regardless of whether he wears a beret or whether he doesn't, or these nonsensical things that people worry about, he is actually running on a platform where he cares about the city of New York, where he cares about the people of New York. And as I said, he wasn't the ideal candidate, but what he has become is the anti-establishment candidate. And that is who we need now. Please, everybody, stop listening to the polls. Stop listening to the idiots in the locker room who cannot even articulate why Andrew Cuomo is better than Curtis Sliwa or Mamdani, for that matter. When they tell you he's a communist, ask them what that means. He wants to seize the means of production. What means of production in New York? Sweatshops on Canal Street? Matzah bakeries in Crown Heights? What means of production is Mamdani going to seize in New York? We don't produce anything. Do you guys got to see this? Because if you fall for everything, you will stand for nothing. Because you won't know what is going on. You will fall for emotional rhetoric. This is the time to step up. This is the time to listen to the people who care about you. To the person who has been coming to you for years, begging you to step up. And this might be your last chance. Because Cuomo and Mamdani don't support you, don't care about you, and Cuomo is just running. He wouldn't even run for a second term if he won. He'd run for a higher office. He is only running to get his career back. He is only running to get back into the political arena. Mamdani, I don't think Mamdani is actually smart enough to understand that he is not capable of doing the things that he says he's going to do. He is just a puppet for a bunch of billionaires who are using him. The same way Andrew Cuomo is using you, is using the Jewish community, and just wants to get real estate interests done. Please, people, whoever is listening to this, especially the guys in my beloved DSNY who I miss every day and who I dream of coming back to. But I can guarantee it'll happen under Sliwa, and if it happens, then it's not just going to be a benefit to me. It's going to be a benefit to yous. Because there won't be another lockdown. There won't be another vaccine mandate. And celebrities will not be of a higher status than you because they are of better economic interest. I can keep going. It's already 25 minutes. I'm going to end this here. The future of New York is in your hands. Vote wisely. Put the emotions aside. Put the rhetoric aside. And look at the reality on the ground. Mamdani and Cuomo are exactly the same. And if someone can tell you why they are, tell them, because I can't get anyone to tell me how they're different. I can't. I'll leave this the question I ask every one of these Cuomo Tods in this video, and I would love for someone to answer them, but they can't, because Cuomo and Mamdani are exactly the same. A Ford Taurus and a Mercury Sable. Curtis Sliwa, he's a Cadillac. Good night, everybody.